Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
This is one of those days where, with all due respect to all of you, I don't feel like starting the show because it's been awfully tough. Eventually, we'll get into some other topics. But it's been a tough week, going back even to last week, because I lost three people that I know and care about very much. Joan Grant, who was the wife of one of my mentors, a guy that means a lot to me, John Grant. Joan, sweet, beautiful, wonderful Joan, passed away recently. That was hard. Ray Goss, who was the play-by-play voice of Duquesne basketball for 58 years. And I think you heard me reference Ray on the show a couple times, especially when they finally made the NCAA tournament. He had his opportunity to do it, and they won, and it was incredible. Ray was 87, so not as unexpected. But I knew Ray for 43 years, going back to the Atlantic 10 days. And he and Nellie King together were two great guys and incredible class, and just always, he threw his heart and soul into Duquesne basketball. He won the Woody Durham Award a couple of years ago, which is great recognition for somebody who earned that recognition, and Ray Goss. And then the one yesterday, which was a total shock, and that was losing Wayne Sebastianelli. Wayne and I go back 32 years, and when you go out to the football practice field like we would go out there every day. Most years we're both out there together. You're talking about being around somebody 8, 9, 10 hours during the course of a week. And when I went to practice, Wayne and I always stood together, always. Unless something came up and Wayne had to leave and take care of something, whether, a player got banged up on the field or somebody needed a medication, whatever. Or, for example, he'd have to miss time because he was on a trip, because Wayne was not just a renowned local surgeon. Wayne was a world-renowned surgeon all over the world, and he would be at all of these various events. And I remember Wayne, everywhere, conferences, everything like that. And, I'd say to him, I said, hey, how was South Africa? And he'd tell me all about the South Africa trip, and he'd show me all the pictures and everything like that. And it was always, especially in the last few years, it was Wayne, Greg, Billy, and I. And we'd talk about everything. We would talk about the Yankees. He loved the Yankees, right? We would talk about fishing, because he'd go out and he'd relax by fishing. Maybe once in a while, something about golf or whatever. We'd talk about Michelle. We'd talk about the kids, and then we'd talk. And Wayne knew his football. He played. He was a terrific player at Valley View in northeastern Pennsylvania. He then played football up in Rochester. That eventually dovetailed finally into him getting a position at Strong Memorial up in Rochester. And then Penn State was fortunate to get him to come down here in the 90s. And he was remarkable. He literally saved Adam Talaferro's life. When Adam Talaferro went to make that tackle against Ohio State, Wayne did two important things. A, he knew what to do, and he knew what not to do. And Adam is walking today because Wayne knew what to do, and he knew what not to do in the moment, because he was the coolest head in the stadium. And I just saw Adam 3 weeks ago. And Adam walks today in part because of what Wayne did in the moment. That's how smart he was. We would sit on the plane, and back when Joe was the coach, our assigned seats were Bud Meredith would be sitting, we'd be in row 9. Bud Meredith would be on my right, the ticket manager, empty seat, because we always had empty seats in the middle. I'd be on the aisle, on the right-hand side. Wayne would be on the opposite side, on the left, in row 9, in the aisle. And he'd get on the plane, and he'd sit down, and he'd have a couple of medical research papers, or there'd be a book he was reading, some different way of doing surgery. I, meanwhile, was sitting on the other side of the aisle, and I'm reading Sports Illustrated. And so once in a while, he'd say, "Here, want to take a look?" I'd go flip a couple pages, and I got it. I'd hand it back. But why would he do that? Because he understood what Joe Paterno always told us. You either get better or you get worse. You never stay the same. And I will freely admit the two of us were the masters of the, over the years, hundreds of inside jokes. Hundreds of inside jokes. And unfortunately, some of them were at Greg Billy's expense. And believe me, we think the world of Greg Billy. We think the world of Doc. But we'd have a little fun. Right? People would go by, and we were called the Three Amigos. And one of the guys called us the Three Stooges. I looked over, I said, maybe I am. I said, but if you need medical help, I wouldn't exactly lump them in with me. Okay. And we were always together out on the practice field. It'll be difficult to go through. And when August 5th rolls around, it's going to be incredibly difficult because that's the first day of football practice. And I won't have him out there with me. And it's going to be very difficult. But to Michelle, and it's just our deepest condolences. I don't know what any of the arrangements are, but this was a brilliant surgeon right in our own backyard. And we have a lot of great surgeons around here, sure, by the way. Please, because I know there are a lot of great ones. But, he was world-renowned. And what always made me laugh is he'd fly all over the place to these conferences. And he told me a couple of times, he says, the thing is, I'm not the greatest flyer in the world. I said, I know. I said, it's all right. When you sit across each other in the plane, you talk enough. And maybe we talked about everything. Football, he'd talk about, he didn't like the footwork of an offensive lineman. He'd talk about, or he really liked the extension he saw out there. He doesn't like how somebody was running a route, or really liked how somebody ran around. We talked a lot of football, too, during the course of it. But not every drill is conducive to us standing there breaking it down either. So we would have either our fair share of serious conversations or our fair share of laughs here and there with one-liners and inside jokes left and right. To say I already miss him, I haven't seen him I had not seen him in 10 days. So 10 days ago was the last time I saw him. And this will be hard, but to say I love the guy would be, we were around each other for 32 years. Good times, bad times, tough times. I can't say enough great things about him as a friend, as a guy, as everything. Just so difficult. It's not the way you wanted to start the show.
No.
Right? He would tell me I've gone on too long.
I go back to I had issues with my jaw in 2014, 2015. I think a lot of listeners remember that, and struggled, and ultimately my jaw shut down on me, and really didn't have a lot of places that knew what was going on. And I turned to Wayne and said, "Look, I know this isn't entirely your specialty, but I'm having answers here." And he was one of the people that directed me in the right direction to get everything fixed and resolved. And it's that was
brilliant.
It ultimately helped save my career, I think, in a lot of ways. Really, with looking back on it, I was out for months, and it ultimately cost me a job. And but I was able to.
That's their fault.
Yeah, and I was ultimately able to return, fortunately, to obviously the industry that we all love dearly. And it's absolutely well said, Steve, in so many ways. Just the impact that he had on every one of us here that was extreme in so many ways. And I credit him, Dr. Philip Bosch as well, both of them.
Oh, Phil's great.
Absolutely.
Great. Billy's great. Phil's great. Jimmy Martin's great.
Absolutely.
I mean, Paul Suey was great when he. I don't know if Paul's doing anything anymore, but I mean, we're fortunate to have a lot of them here. But you know what?
No doubt.
My son was playing state high football, and they gave Larry Johnson the ball, and he was blocking, and he got caught in the wash. I mean, he ended up breaking his femur. Well, the first call I made was to Wayne. He couldn't have been there any faster. He performed the surgery.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm talking like
always. Okay? He would answer you quickly.
No,
absolutely.
No. I mean, and when you sit there and you trust you're a family member, that tells you everything about what you think about that person. So
no doubt.
The best and very difficult. Very difficult, and it's a big loss for the community. It's obviously the biggest loss is for Michelle and the kids.
No doubt.
I mean, that's the biggest loss. But for the community, for the football program, for the athletic department, for Mount Nittany Hospital, everything. And very difficult. And like I said, when August 5th comes up and it's the first day of football practice, it'll probably hit me like a
no question.
Ton of bricks. May just stand off by myself for a while just to absorb what's going on. So, all right. He would, at this point, he'd look at me.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, he'd say, nice. He always say, nice. But then he says, Steve, get on with the show, will you? Okay, we'll get on with the show. He seemed different today. Would it take 2-3 hours to cut that mop? Or
good hour.
An hour?
No, it took about 20 minutes, though.
An hour? There are women in the building where it takes less time for them to get their hair done. What the heck's going on here? What are you doing? Oh, my goodness. So the Sixers, after eliminating the Celtics, America's jump shooting extravaganza, the Knicks are playing great, and the Knicks blew them out last night.
They're locking down defensively. I think the Knicks, that's the one thing I thought that they struggled with in a lot of ways, even under Thibodeau, which is unbelievable because he's a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah, but you can be a defensive-minded coach. This is what people don't understand.
Well, you got to have the right guys. I get it.
Exactly. You have
no question.
It all comes down to, do you have the right guys? Yeah. I don't understand it. Tibbs is a defensive coach. I don't understand why they don't play better defense. You don't just wave a magic wand and they play better defense. I mean, it's just not the way it goes. And it is, I always laugh about that. And the, I know it's, at least they have guys. What really helps guys being committed to defense is when they see results from it.
Absolutely. Yeah, results both ways.
Right.
You score offensively, and
right,
it leads
exactly.
to
if
no
you
doubt.
can convince guys that it's not just getting stops, but it can lead to baskets.
Mm-hmm.
And for some odd reason, the players seem to love baskets
Quite a bit.
quite a bit. It seems to be what really motivates them. If you can convince them of that, you're going to play great defense. Now, Minnesota and San Antonio played last night. Anthony Edwards played. That left knee was really bandaged up, and they went into the Frost Center last night down in San Antonio and just beat them. And it's one thing about Minnesota. I got to give them credit. They're gutsy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they play with some guts out there. Obviously Edwards is a really good player. He's a really good scorer. I don't know if he's a really good player, but he's a really good scorer because there's a big difference between doing a really good scorer and being a really good all-around player. It's okay. I'm not quite sure he's a great all-around player. Like Victor Wembanyama has become a really terrific all-around player.
And he's still got room to improve, which is incredible for him. He's really a guy in year 2 that has developed into a massive superstar at this point.
Oh, he's just a great player.
Or year 3, I guess it is.
It is year 3. That's okay. I wasn't going to correct you. I figured I would let you
missed
do that
a lot of year 2 with the blood clot.
Evidently, you missed a lot of his second year as well.
I wasn't alone. It wasn't on the floor.
Well, the Flyers had a real shot last night. They were up 2-0, and you just felt like in watching that game last night that the team that scored the next goal would win. In other words, the Flyers would be up 3-0. They were going to win. But if Carolina scored next, 2-1, now it becomes, hey, you may deflect one in, something. They score a little bit past the midway point of the third period, tie the game up. Then they get to overtime, and the Flyers absolutely tilted the ice and were dominating overtime. And then they finally gave up. At some point, Carolina's got to get the puck, and they do, and they went down. And Taylor Hall, who was a first overall pick, Hall is a former Hart Trophy winner as the MVP in the league. He's had injuries the last couple of years. I think they got him from the Blackhawks, and that's the first overtime game winner he's ever had in the Stanley Cup. But he scored it last night, and now Carolina's up 2-0 going back to Philadelphia. And look, the Flyers played a great game last night.
Yeah, they did.
Once Frederik Andersen gave up the first 2 goals, he was a wall after that. An absolute wall. And I think Carolina's just deeper than Philadelphia,
there's no question.
Which helps.
Yeah.
I mean, they won the first game easily and led for 58.5 minutes. Last night, Carolina led for 0 minutes and still won.
Yeah, and then Philly was the more aggressive. They were much more aggressive last night than they were Saturday night, too. You look at
Philadelphia played well last night.
They played great. Yeah, Saturday night was almost not a repeat of the Game 6 with the Penguins where they just couldn't get in their zone, couldn't get shots on goal. And that was really, you get into 3 power plays, you don't get a shot on any of the 3. That was in Game 1. And I thought Game 2, they were the aggressor, which I thought was huge. And then, you take that lead. Carolina hadn't trailed all postseason.
That's right.
Until that. That was really I thought it was huge to get the lead. But, again, Carolina is they are going to be a tough out from not just Flyers, but anybody. This is a very good team.
Yeah, I mean, they are. And then I started watching a little bit of Anaheim Vegas last night.
Yeah, I didn't see hardly any of it.
And I'm like, I've got to find some place to sleep here. I got to go to sleep. But I guess there was a controversial call in the third period, and Vegas did win. But Joel Quenneville, Anaheim's coach, was not enamored with the call. And so that's Game 1. And work from there. That's where they are. Your team, the Phillies, you have any idea what's going on with that team?
New manager, I'll tell you, new attitude. This is always how it works. Somebody takes over, you play inspired ball, you jump out to like a 6-7-1 record, as they're doing right now. It's a matter of what they're going to do come summertime.
How many games do you get to a year?
I usually try to at least get to 1, hopefully 2, but usually at least try to get to 1.
So you really have nothing to do with the attendance numbers?
No. Nope. No. I do love the concession. They have a concession stand item. It's like a water cooler barrel. Now it's kind of like a.
Okay.
It's
explain
12.
This to me.
It's 12 ounces. It's almost literally like a water, like the jug the little leaguers will use almost. They have this as a cover on your beverage. Literally, it is one of the coolest items I have ever seen, and it's like $30 though, and it's not going to last long, unfortunately. Look at me, I'm selling. Phillies ought to hire me as a salesperson, right? But literally,
$30.
Yeah, I was ridiculously priced, but I looked at it, I was like, oh my god. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, literally.
Well, I can't wait to find out.
But it's the dugout cooler cup, 12-ounce cooler cup. It's literally shaped like, almost like your little league jug is shaped. It looks like your water cooler. I'm trying to see if I can show it for the folks. I don't think I can. We're getting there.
That's $30.
That's 30. It's ridiculously priced. Yes.
It's $30.
Yes, ridiculously priced.
It's $30.
Yes.
Oh. Brutal.
Yeah, there you go. You got an okay shot of it there. But yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. Brutally priced. And it's going to sell out in like 4 seconds because it did always. Remember they had that stupid Fanatic. Now, I thought it was stupid. Everybody else apparently loved it because it sold out in seconds. The stupid Fanatic hat where they put your head was shaped like the Fanatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dumb. This, on the other hand, I think is great.
Yeah, but if the Fanatic hat sold, is it still a bad idea?
No.
I mean, is it a bad idea?
Nope. Certainly wasn't. Prove me wrong.
Holy mackerel.
But yeah, I thought that dugout cooler cup was one of the cooler things. They were one of the first teams as a giveaway too to come out with the old classic bullpen car.
Yes,
those were great too.
Yes. I love the old-fashioned bullpen.
Yeah,
car,
I give the Phillies credit. I think their marketing is playing better than the team on the field. They're absolutely knocking it out of the park in a lot of ways, no doubt. But yeah. But yeah, they're obviously playing inspired ball at the moment because you're playing under a new manager. That takes nothing away from Rob Thompson. Something had to be done.
Oh, no.
He was the fall guy, without a doubt.
Look, what you give to one, you take away from another.
Exactly.
You're an expert at that.
Yeah, that's darn right.
You're also 9.5 games back.
Yeah, 9.5 games back and a very favorable schedule right now. You're beating up the Marlins, which I think a good recreational
team. Well, the only team in the
recreational team can beat up the Marlins.
Okay. The only team in the National League East that is over 500, the Atlanta Braves. Yeah. They're the only ones.
Yeah. The Phillies are getting help from the Mets being terrible.
Every team in the Central is over 500, including the Pirates.
Yeah. And then the Phillies will play the Athletics next couple days, so that'll help them a little more as well.
And the Braves have the best record in baseball right now. The Yankees are second.
Yeah, the Braves. I couldn't figure out really. Obviously, they have injuries again. Acuna's on the IL again. But you look at last year, I couldn't figure them out. I felt like they didn't come together as a team. They've always consistently been very talented. They've always consistently been a well-managed team. Last year was just different with them.
Yeah. Very different. All right. So the NHL draft lotteries tonight, right?
Yes.
So we will find out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know what it means to have Gavin McKenna. Corey Pronman estimates McKenna has a 50% chance of going first.
Yeah,
with Ivar Stenberg and Chase Reed at 20% each. Yep. And it's a 10% chance somebody else. So all 16 teams that missed the playoffs are in the lottery.
Uh-huh.
The Vancouver Canucks finished last,
Yep.
so they have an 18.5% chance. Each team's odds drop the further down the list you go. The Capitals finished 16th. They have a 1.1% chance. Okay, there are two lotteries, one for the first pick and one for the second pick. That means nobody can move down more than two picks. So the Canucks are guaranteed to pick no worse than third. The Red Wings are the only lottery team that doesn't own its own pick. They traded it to the Blues for Justin Falk. The Maple Leafs traded their pick with top 5 protection, meaning if they land at 6th or 7th, the pick goes to the Bruins. The McKenna thing was interesting to watch this year here at Penn State. I don't know about you.
Oh, no doubt.
What made it interesting to me was that the first time I saw him play, I'm sitting there, I think it was the first time I saw him play was in October.
Same. Yep.
And I'm watching, going, this guy's out there playing chess on the ice.
Yes.
You can see his vision. You can see him trying to set everybody else up. I just thought it was taking a little bit longer for people to get used to how he played. Yeah. And then I remember after that game, people were complaining, well, there's a guy, he's not scoring. I said, what game are you watching? You can see he's a cut above how everybody plays. They get into the offensive zone, and you can just see that he knows where all the 11 other chess pieces happen to be. You can just see him doing it. Now, all the complaints went away once the simple stuff started happening. Sure. That people can relate to. He started scoring goals.
Uh-huh.
Having an 8-point game doesn't hurt your cause. With the fan base. But it's more than just watching somebody play and it's how many points they get. You can see that they are playing a different kind of game than other people. And Gavin McKenna played a different kind of game than other people that I watched during the course of the year, including Matone, who's out of Michigan State, who's now with the Flyers.
Uh-huh.
Right? He's a better player than he is.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that kid scored.
And Martone's going to be a star. Absolutely going to be a star.
He's a really good player.
Yeah.
He's what, 19? McKenna, Gavin hasn't finally turned 18, I believe.
Uh-huh.
Because he started the year at 17.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see. Everybody's assuming he's going to leave. But, again, in the NHL, there is a big difference.
Sure.
And the big difference in the NHL is you can be drafted. They hold your draft rights. He could, for example, Jackson Smith was a first-round pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets last year. I think 14th overall.
Yeah.
He played here.
Yeah.
I mean, so guys make certain decisions, and he hasn't said what he's going to do yet. At least I haven't heard him say what he's going to do. But you can just see mentally, to go with the physical skills that he has. I mean, he's got a feathery touch on his passes. He's accurate with how he passes it. It's got a terrific shot. But what really kind of made me sit back and go, whoa. When people were like, well, he's not quite what we thought he was going to be. I'm looking around going, am I missing something here?
And that's
I've watched a ton of hockey in my lifetime. You can kind of tell when somebody's a little bit better than everybody else.
Your biggest point was the one that people are looking at. They're looking to see if he scores goals or not. That's the biggest thing, whether or not. And Smith also is coming back, so that's another part there with Jackson Smith, and with McKenna. It's especially when you were. You just said it. You just turned 18. And when you first get into the college game or even a higher hockey game, you're playing guys that are older than you.
Yeah.
It takes adjustment initially.
Sure it does.
There's no question. And I thought he adjusted into the game.
So did I.
Quickly.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Did he have his moments? Sure. Everybody's going to. Shohei Ohtani's hitless in 4 games. Everybody's going to have their moments, no matter how good or bad you are.
Not very good.
Yeah, nice. He's got to work on it. It's literally just that stuff is going to happen. But McKenna, the way, and you look at the way not only how he started the year, how he finished the year, I thought was unbelievable. And that's where
at that point you could tell exactly your point. You could
easily tell.
Where now he was used to the speed of the game.
Absolutely.
And like when you have the ability to play the game fast, and I do not mean skating or running or whatever.
No.
I'm talking mentally.
Where mentally the game is at your speed. Yeah, right? Absolutely.
Where you look around and go, hey, when you can do that, what a difference that makes.
Yeah, and when the eyes are on you too, as they were on him, that pressure, he lived up to it perfectly fine. Prime example, you look at the game at Beaver Stadium, he scores a goal that game. All eyes were on him that day.
Yeah, sure.
There are a lot of casual hockey fans that were there to see him that day, and he scored. Right. So that's I think that's absolutely a guy that is ready, and I'm excited for the lottery. I really am. I think there's a lot of good a lot of high teams in terms of markets, in terms of popular NHL teams that have a shot at the first pick. So I think it's not only Vancouver, but you have the Rangers, you have the Blackhawks. You imagine pairing McKenna with Bedard, and it's just absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So I think people saw late last week. I think it came out on Friday about the $1.379 billion that the Big Ten gets to distribute, and with Penn State making it to the semifinals, they had the second highest number of anybody on the distribution. I think Ohio State was 91 million. 91 million.
Yep.
Penn State was 89 million.
89.
So right in that range. And as I pointed out in the TV deal many times, the number's backloaded. That TV contract that they have with NBC, Fox, and CBS, that's a backloaded contract. The bigger numbers are coming up now in 27, 28, and 29. And the success of the Big Ten, both in the college football playoff and the NCAA basketball tournament, is more money for everybody across the board. And you need it more than ever. It's amazing that no matter what you do in college sports, the constant need for money and increased revenue is there. And look, you're supposed to be a nonprofit group anyway. You're supposed to end up with a balance sheet of I think you'd love to have a balance sheet that was $2.5 to $5 million in the black every year. That way you can kind of build a rainy day fund. Last I checked, 2020 was a monsoon. And so you'd like to have that. It allows you to keep as many sports as you do have. Not everybody has the luxury of being Texas, Alabama, Clemson, and so forth that have 19, 20 sports. Not everybody has that luxury. Penn State has 31. I want to say Ohio State has 34. But it allows you to keep that grouping. And by the way, let's give the women's volleyball team credit. They're going down to Jerry World. They're going to be involved in that volleyball tournament. They'll get $200,000 for showing up, and if they win it, they get another $200,000. So there's money involved in that by going down to do that. And so Katie Schumacher-Cawley is going to take her team down there for that. There aren't a lot of revenue opportunities in other sports except for men's basketball and football being the primary driver. There's just not a lot of revenue opportunities. And that's been one of the big problems, for example, that people don't understand, and the NCAA does a terrible job of conveying it. I go back to the O'Bannon trial where they put Mark Emmert on the stand. All Emmert had to do, and it doesn't mean he's going to win.
Right.
He's not going to win. But he should have just gotten up there and said, hey, look, we made this deal with EA Sports, for example, because we're trying to get more revenue in there because, how many of you in the room love women's sports? Every hand's going to go up.
Mm-hmm.
How many of you love men's soccer? How many of you love baseball? How many of you love men's gymnastics? And hands are going up. Well, we have to be able to pay for it. So we're trying to come up with as many revenue sources as possible to pay for it. Now, does that argument win? No, O'Bannon would have won. But at least you would have told everybody the true reason why you're doing it, instead of the ivory tower speech we got, which it's about higher education. It's about this. Yeah, they're in a university. I got it. 97% are going pro in something else. I've seen the commercials.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what people want to hear. If you're bringing in all this money, it makes it sound like, oh, yeah, we're all about education, this, that, and the other thing, but we're keeping the money. That's what it came off as. Well, they're not keeping the money. It's expensive. I mean, and so there's more pressure than ever on football and men's basketball to help pay for as many things as possible, because the other sports, right, are not profitable. And media today, which unfortunately may lean too much to the side of hot takes.
Absolutely.
Instead of leaning to the side of information.
Factual. Yep.
I mean, hot takes are more exciting. They're more dynamic. They're more like draw you in, right? I mean, should the Steelers trade Aaron Rodgers? What do you think? Is Jalen Hurts' days in Philadelphia numbered? Hey, you have no idea if there's numbered or not, but you get two people on there, 3-4 people talking about giving their opinion about whether days are numbered or not, and nobody has any idea what's going on. They're just talking their opinion. Oh, I know. You can just see the body language. It's just not, instead of like telling everybody what's really going on out there. South Carolina women's basketball is a great example. Is Don Staley a great coach? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Don Staley have a great program?
Sure.
Yep. Does Don Staley have a lot of backsides in the seat down in Columbia, South Carolina? Yep.
Uh-huh.
Right. And SEC women's basketball is really good, right?
Sure.
Yep. And South Carolina women's basketball lost $7 million last year. I mean, again, balance sheets are not sexist.
No.
Okay?
State facts.
Okay? Balance sheets are not sexist. They aren't racist. They aren't anything. They're just numbers. How much did you bring in? How much did you spend? And the difference is that you need a great media contract on your own to take care of it. And it's hard to take care of it.
Sure.
Because it's not there. People are not putting together media contracts to do that. All the media contracts are with football and men's basketball. Okay? I mean, does Peacock put men's gymnastics on in the Big Ten? Nope. And it didn't pay for it. Oh, by the way, there's a little bit of a spat going on between Big Ten Fox and Amazon Prime.
I did see this.
The Duke-Michigan basketball game. Duke has signed 3 games to be on Amazon Prime. One is with UConn, one is with Gonzaga, the other is the rematch with Michigan. Now, I don't know, where's that game going to be played? Last year was in D.C. Is it Madison Square Garden this time?
I think so.
I think it's in Madison Square Garden, which, by the way, Duke will have a lot of fans, but Michigan, I can tell you, after doing a Penn State-Michigan basketball game in Madison Square Garden in 2016, I can tell you right now, they have a lot of Michigan fans in the New York City area. And ESPN carried it last year. And Duke acted like they were the home team last year. Duke requested they play with the Wilson basketball because that's what the basketball is used in the NCAA tournament, perfectly acceptable. They wanted to play in D.C. because that was a regional, and it turned out Duke played in D.C. and lost, I might point out, in D.C. And so it makes you feel like that's to me the second game I thought would be more of a Big Ten centric thing.
Agreed. Yep.
And Duke sold the rights to Amazon Prime. They're looking around like going, whoa, like what's going on here?
Yep.
So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah. It's going to be December in MSG, too. So that'll be a fun time.
Oh, that's good. All right. It's very good. Okay. So one other I do want to get to. Was there anything about the 49ers we need to talk about? I mean,
not that I know of.
Oh, boy, I just want to say on behalf of the audience, thank God. All right, so what?
No news is good news.
What? Oh, ay. So, that is the loss of John Sterling. Yeah. I wanted to get that before we get out of here. Well, there's one other topic I want to get to. But first of all, John Sterling. John Sterling passed away at the age of 87. He had told Michael Kay that, he had heart trouble. Mm-hmm. And he told Michael Kay, and Michael worked with him for years on the Yankees broadcast. They were just terrific together.
Two great people. Yeah, absolutely.
And Michael Kay said yesterday that John Sterling had told him, he says, hey, I got to hang in there. He says, I got to walk my daughter down because he was struggling to walk right now.
Yes.
And he said, I want to walk my daughter down the aisle at her wedding this summer. He's not going to get a chance to do that. No. John Sterling, I only met him once. And he was
both of them.
He was with the Atlanta Hawks at the time. Very nice, very gracious, incredible voice. He did the Yankees for look, he did the Braves, he did the Hawks. Yep. He actually did the New York Islanders.
Yes, he did
period of time. But he was most known for 36 years of broadcasting the Yankees. I think he did something like 5,600 consecutive games or something like that. And he always had that great baritone voice. Mm-hmm. You know what I always liked and respected about him? Everybody knows he wanted the Yankees to win.
Of course.
He's
the home broadcaster.
And he had his own style and A-bomb from A-Rod.
Yeah. Text message.
Right.
You're on the mark to share.
Bernie Williams was Burn Baby Burn.
Yeah.
Brandy
like McGinn.
That. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with that. You're the New York Yankees broadcaster.
Yeah, sure.
But if you listen to him do a game, I remember one time Dustin Pedroia scored on a play at home plate, and I wasn't watching it. I didn't see it till later. Makes this phenomenal slide at home plate and scores. And for 2 innings, he talked about that slide over and over again. Right? If somebody else on another team did something right, he was the first guy to praise it.
Absolutely.
And he never really got enough credit for that. In other words, he appreciated really good baseball. If you pitched a great game, he's telling you that guy's pitching a great game. He may not be a Yankee, right? But guess what? He pitched a great game. Guy has a great day at the plate against the Yankees. He'll tell you what a great day the guy's having. Somebody makes a great catch, runs the bases right, he'll be the first to tell you because he loved the game. And he had a passion for it. And I was trying to think, who was I talking to? Ricky Ricardo. Ricky is the Spanish play-by-play voice for the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's the Spanish play-by-play voice for the Yankees. And it was, remember they had that awful storm a couple of years ago and all the flooding around Yankee Stadium? I guess John was driving home in his car and he got caught, and Ricky saw it. And Ricky was telling me, he says, Steve, I got out of the car right away. He said, he was able to essentially save John's life. But nothing but the highest regard for him, like beloved. An absolutely beloved figure, figure by Yankee players, by management, a beloved figure by the fans. I mean, when you're a baseball announcer and you start broadcasting your games, mid to late February, and if you're really good, it takes you into October.
Sure.
That's months and months at a time where you are building a bond with your audience. And John Sterling built a bond with his audience. And I give him great credit for it. Again, I mean, I only met him the one time. I mean, so, but as somebody who does this for a living,
yeah,
I just really appreciated the fact that he threw his heart and soul into every broadcast. This guy never mailed anything in.
No.
He never mailed anything in. You cannot be good at anything if you mail it in.
Right.
I opened the show by talking about Wayne Sebastianelli. Never mailed in a day in his life. Right? Ever. Never did. I'm talking about him reading medical journals, research papers on the plane, because he was always trying to get better.
Yeah,
John Sterling,
absolutely.
from what you read about John Sterling, was like that all the time. He was always working, trying to get, what story could he tell, and the enthusiasm with which he told the Yankees story was tremendous because he told the story like a fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I mean, he told the story like a fan. And did he have his idiosyncrasies? Yeah, sure. So what? He had his own style. That was his way of doing things. And everybody has their own way of doing things.
Sure.
And, so he did pass away at 87. You can tell what he meant to a lot of people up there.
No doubt.
I know Dave Sims, I know. And Dave's the one that took his place on the Yankees broadcast.
Yeah.
And, Dave's one of the absolutely great guys out there. Can't say enough good things about Dave.
No, the Yankees have been fortunate to have
and Susan Waldman. I want to give Susan Waldman some
certainly.
credit. Susan Waldman, who's the word pioneer is thrown around like so loosely these days.
Sure.
But I mean, putting her on a baseball broadcast.
Yeah.
When Michael Kay moved, when Yes was formed, they asked Michael Kay to go over to be the play-by-play guy. And Yes, great choice.
Yeah.
Okay? Michael Kay is a great broadcaster.
Phenomenal.
But Susan Waldman teamed up with John Sterling, and it meant that John had to do all 9 innings, which is what he wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
While she's there as an analyst, and they were almost like, this is kind of a funky way of putting it. It was almost like a workplace husband and wife team.
Almost. Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Right. And they're really, worked well together. Worked very well together. And,
Sure did.
And some of her stuff was still in the booth when we went to do the Pinstripe Bowl. So somebody came in and he says, Susan left her stuff here. I'm like going, okay. I didn't say it. Somebody who works for the Yankees said that. I didn't say that.
We had an intern, I think when I first started in radio, that first of all interned with the Yankees, so I had connection there, and then was fortunate enough to have a coworker that ended up in media and is doing incredible right now in New York media, but worked at the bar across the street from Yankee Stadium and developed relationships with both Sterling and Kay, and was lucky enough to meet both of them. And they are absolutely could not be better people.
Yeah, Michael Kay I never met. I've never met
Michael Kay is a great guy. Absolutely.
I've heard nothing but great things.
And somebody else obviously passed away in 2010 that I thought was a huge impact on the Yankees. Bob Shepard, same thing.
I would like to point out Bob Shepard was 101 when he passed away, right?
Well, 99, I think. 101,
maybe
99.
It was 99.
99. I'm thinking 99.
Maybe it was 99.
Yeah, he was. Oh man.
But it was in Derek Jeter's contract.
That his name would be announced.
Bob Shepard.
Yeah, that was absolutely. It's. They have been lucky in New York to have the people they have. There is no doubt about it. You even go back to Mel Allen, the guy John Sterling replaced, and Hank Greenwald.
Red Barber.
That Barber, same thing. Yeah, these guys were absolutely the best of the best, and John Sterling is in that conversation with every one of them. Best of the best.
Finally, the men's and women's lacrosse teams at Penn State have made the NCAA tournament. Women's lacrosse is going to get at Stanford. And the men's lacrosse team gets to play home Saturday on the road to Charlottesville. They will play Saturday at Panzer, and it is a whiteout Saturday when they take on Army. Penn State is the 8th seed. If they were to win, they get the 1 seed Princeton. So there you go. That's 4 straight years that Penn State has made the NCAA men's lacrosse tournament, and it's great to see the women's program back in the NCAA women's lacrosse tournament. So there you go. Teams are in, and it's going to be a whiteout. That means you wear.
Yep.
No, I just want to make sure you know. I found out over time I have to spell everything out.
I'll never forget when the Cowboys and Niners played in the playoffs, and the Cowboys said, "We're gonna have a stadium whiteout." I thought, man, I wish I would have thought of that idea. It's not like I heard that one before. I thought, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then you always have the person that has to correct you. Well, the Utah hockey team is. I know.
Well,
I'm aware.
Technically, technically, because it's when they were the Winnipeg Jets.
Right.
This is the original Winnipeg Jets. Mm-hmm. The current Winnipeg Jets were the Atlanta Thrashers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
People are like, the Atlanta Thrashers. I go,
yeah. Oh yeah.
They were
the Thrashers. Yeah.
Right. Well, when Winnipeg moved to Arizona, they brought the rights of the whiteout with them because they started. I think I want to say in '87, and the playoff is when they would wear all white.
Whiteout. Yep.
You didn't notice it this year. They didn't make the playoff.
Make the playoff.
Just thought I'd point that out. Oh boy.
But that stadium over in the stadium here in Happy Valley is they had a whiteout once or twice. It's worked pretty well.
I know they had a 6-game winning streak snapped on the whiteout night. Just have to start a new one this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting about that. When I go out to speak to groups, it's not the first question, but it's among the first 3 or 4 questions I get from an audience is which game is the whiteout. And I don't know until they tell me because you need to have game times to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. So I'll go out and I'll look at everybody. I said, no, seriously, no. It's going to be. I said, okay, well, if you think so.
If you think so, then maybe it is.
I said,
who knows?
Nobody's told me.
No.
I mean, when it comes to the kickoff of these things, I usually find out.
Yeah.
You probably find out the same time I do.
Not long
which is like
after.
Maybe like half hour, 45
maybe
minutes
a little bit of a
they
difference.
Put it out.
And there's times you know what network took the game, so you have a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't mean you know the game time.
Now, the NFL is going to delay their schedule release by probably a week. Ooh. What is going on? It's such
they have more inventory opened up after they got rid of the doubleheader on Monday Night Football, so they're trying to figure out where to throw that probably.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yet, they've got to have some secondary.
They have to.
Because I'm talking about the Monday night thing.
Yeah, they have
Did you notice Dave Pasch? They're talking about him being the second Monday Night Football announcer.
Yeah, which means they got to have some kind of idea
going. There has to be something.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, no offense to the guys who broadcast the second Monday night game, but I never watched the second Monday night game.
No.
And it's not that I just didn't.
No, and it's number one. It's I think especially when it's same time. Yeah, if it's you have the Eagles and Packers on one, and then you have the Panthers and no offense to the Kyle F, the Panthers and Saints.
Oh, you're just
cruel. Most people are watching
you sit there and you take shots.
I could easily say Panthers and 49ers, and more people are watching the Eagles and Packers too. But absolutely, especially when it's something like that, nobody was watching that second game.
I mean, I didn't.
I don't want to say nobody. Panther fans and Saints fans were watching it, but beyond that, no.
I mean... Yeah, I didn't watch any of it. So
no, and most people I don't think did. So that opens up more inventory for them, and that's what they'll probably put a YouTube game, another streaming game of some sort.
Yeah. Oh, there'll be YouTube games.
Yeah, no question.
Oh, my goodness.
No question.
Oh, there'll be YouTube games.
To me, the people that have Sunday tickets should have every game. I don't care how you make it work. You got to make it work. And somebody's paying that kind of money.
Yeah.
They should have every game.
Yeah.
I get that the streaming services are all different. I understand that. There's got to be a way for these people that are paying that kind of money to see their team.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the NFL, to its credit, is absolutely all about the NFL. So really think
that would be stating the obvious.
I mean, I'm talking. I mean, as a business.
Yeah.
I mean,
they don't care what you think. They really don't. You know, they'll put a game on Tuesday night. They'll put a game Wednesday morning. They don't care. Wednesday morning after a team plays Saturday. They won't make them play Sunday to Wednesday. I don't think they're going to go that far. But they'll put them on Saturday and play them Wednesday. Done it before.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Just like Sunday, Thursday. The players want to play. No, they don't.
The only thing about Thursday, the players
well, you have the benefit of the following week.
Is the following week.
Sure.
But they're going to play a Wednesday game on Thanksgiving Eve this year.
Especially these teams that are especially when you get later. Thanksgiving Eve, a prime example. When you get later into the season, these teams are banged up. These players are banged up. They don't want to have a 4-day turnaround.
Yeah, but and I could imagine you being in that spot. I mean, you complain about a sore throat.
Right. Break a nail, I'll tell you what. Burn my tongue eating soup, that's tough. Just as bad as an old shoulder injury in football.
Oh, now we got to hear about the old shoulder injury again. Oh, here we go.
No. Believe me, I wasn't on the field enough to have a shoulder injury in football.
All right, here we go. Let's see the violence.
I got my one play every game. That was special teams. They kicked it as far as they could away from me. If I injured my shoulder, I'd probably trip trying to grab a cup of water.
Oh, boy.
Or fell off the bench. One of the two.
This is just... yeah. Just, you come up with something new every day where I sit back and go, you have to be kidding me. I've got to give you credit. Every day. Have you noticed that you move faster with less hair?
That's right. The grays show a lot more, too, I think, when you have less hair.
I didn't want to bring that up because I can't talk.
Oh, and you have sports teams like me. Those come quicker.
No, mine is just happened naturally over time. It has nothing to do with any sports team. It's just
how to put the blame somewhere.
Just what nature told my hair to do. So there you go. You know, it's called age. Didn't bother me.
No, same.
Oh no, it should bother you because you're only 22.
That's right. just turned legal drinking.
Oh God. Great. All right. Back tomorrow. Are you back tomorrow?
I believe so.
Then I might be back tomorrow.
There you go.